Hello, everyone. We're going to go through today. I've got some notes for you. You can either print them off, you can find them on today's Schoology page, or you can just go ahead. Most of this you could get probably in your notebook. We're going to go through some word problems and get an assignment. This assignment's going to be due on Tuesday, and then you've got another assignment for Wednesday, Thursday. So you've got 2 assignments for this week. I'll give you a practice quiz, and then you guys are going to take a quiz on Monday and Tuesday of next week. So that short week before Thanksgiving, you guys are going to take another quiz. So all that we're doing this week is we're talking basically about word problems. We're talking about these real life scenarios and how do you come up with an equation for that, and how do you find some of this information when you can plug it into that equation. All right, so let's look at this first problem. We've got quite a bit here in this first problem. It says a plumber charges a base fee of $100 for a service call plus $35 per hour for all hours worked during the call. All right, and then it wants us to come up with this calculation. I didn't want you to watch me have to write all this down, so I wrote it down. You might have to pause it and get all this information down as well. So we have here in this table all the different hours worked, right, and how that correlates with the different prices. Okay, so when you work, if he works 0 hours, so before he even starts working, he's already made $100. No matter what, he's going to make $100 from, I think they call it the service or the base fee. All right, then it's a fee per hour. So every hour that he's working, he's earning another $35. All right, so we've got some questions here. So what observations can I make about the consecutive entries in the hours worked column? So it's saying in this hours worked, what do we notice about these numbers? Really, it's just asking us to notice the hours increase by 1. We're just counting up 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And then it asks us the same thing about these interests for the total charge, so how much this person is making. So that column we can see goes up by 35. Every time it's moving up by an hour, he's making $35 more. So the cost goes up 35. Right, and it just asks us those. Not every question is going to ask us that, but it wants you to notice that as we go through, as these hours increase, the total is also going to increase at a certain rate. Okay, so when you're going through these problems, you're trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to put this into an equation? You've got to think, okay, there's some type of starting value, starting amount that no matter how much, in this example, it's no matter how many hours that this person works, that the plumber works, he is already making $100 just off the bat. And then there's a rate, okay, so I start with that $100, and then on top of that, every hour that I work, I'm making another $35. Okay, so we can fit these in to our y equals mx plus b formula. Okay, so just like we know that m is our slope, the b is the y-intercept. When we're doing a real-world problem or a word problem, we can also think slope is the same thing as a rate. Okay, 35 per hour or 50 miles per hour, or anything that's changing depending on the number of hours or minutes or dollars or whatever. All right, the y-intercept is something we can call a starting value. All right, that doesn't change, but it's saying, okay, when you haven't spent any money or no time has passed or you haven't got any miles, this is the starting place. And this goes up per mile or hour or minute or second or whatever the problem says. So when we think about it in the context of this problem, we're thinking y is equal to, okay, we always keep the y and the x as part of just the equation. Okay, so y is equal to, my rate is 35 times x, plus my starting value was 100. Okay, so that's my equation that I would use. So always try and think of it in terms of that y equals mx plus b. All right, and it's asking, how much would we charge for an 8-hour job? Well, are we going to plug that in for y or for x? Okay, think about that for a minute. Y is our total. Okay, it's the total amount of money. X is the number of hours that we're plugging in. Okay, we're multiplying it by 35, so we're thinking, okay, 2 hours times that $35 or whatever. Y is going to be the total amount of money. So when it says how much would we charge for an 8-hour job, the X here in this scenario is hours. We're going to plug it in for X. So we get 35 times 8, it's a long plumbing job, plus 100. I don't know what 35 times 8 is off the top of my head, so I'm getting my calculator. All right, 35 times 8 is 280. Plus 100. I bet some of you did that in your head. Some of you are better at mental math than me. All right, 280 plus 100, we get 380. All right, so final answer here, $380. All right. Let's go on to the second page. I'm not going to do this entire thing because I want to save some of these problems for the Google Meet. So let's just do real quick. Let's just do number 2. All right, it's saying a lawyer charges a fixed fee of $200 for a first meeting and $150 per hour for all hours worked after that. So first off, it wants us to write an equation. Okay, so think about that y equals mx plus b. If it helps, you can always just write it out so you can think about your framework there. Okay, y equals mx plus b. Okay, so it's saying a lawyer charges a fixed fee of $200 for a first meeting and $150 per hour for all hours work after that. So it's similar to the plumber, right? You start out with that $200, and then after that, it's $150 per hour. Okay, so if we put that in the context of that y equals mx plus b, I get y, which is going to be total cost, equals mx. So m, that's my rate. The rate is that 150 per hour. So 150, I'm going to say 150x. Okay, and x is the number of hours. You don't need to put this, but this kind of helps me to keep it everything in context of what this all means. All right, plus b, that's the starting value, so plus 200. All right, so that is my equation. Y equals 150x plus 200. I just dropped my pen. All right, so how much would I be charged for an 8-hour job? Okay, so 8-hour job, I'm plugging in 8 for x. It's the number of hours. It's not the total cost. It's the number of hours I'm asking this person to work. All right, so I have y equals 150x. I know the x value is 8 plus 200. I know that 150 times 8 is 1,200. I should have been able to do that one in my head. Okay, that's 1,200 plus 200. And I can simplify that. That's 1,400, 1,400. Okay, so I'm going to put that in dollars for my final answer. All right, that's why legal fees are expensive. All right, $1,400 for 8 hours. Okay, and then it's saying if my total bill was $950, how many hours am I asking this lawyer to work? How many hours did the lawyer work on your case? So this is your total. So think about your original equation. It's not saying he's working for 950 hours. You're not going to plug it in for X. You're plugging it in for total cost. So 950 equals 150x plus 200. We're solving for X. We're solving for the hours. Right, so I'm going to subtract 200 from both sides. I get 750 equals 150x. Okay, divide out that 150. And that one is 5 is equal to x. I know that's 5 hours. Okay, so go ahead. We'll do, is it 3 and 4 or just 3? Oh, I've got a couple problems. We can leave those for the Google Meet that we'll either do on Monday or Tuesday. Even if you are a B group person, you can hop on the A group Google Meet. You can always hop on the opposite day. Just make sure you're showing up for your days as well so I can get you for that attendance. All right, go ahead. You can get this assignment done. Remember, you have until Tuesday. This is all that I'm assigning till Tuesday. But until then, I'll see you guys either today or tomorrow.